come join my Patreon. This will help me continue making videos. My Patreon videos and blogs explore knowledge that's on a deeper and more profound level than what I discuss here on public YouTube. Some of it is news about the beautiful higher world we're about to enter as the earth is transformed. There are some Vedic axioms pertinent to this video, and they go like this. What you see, you become. That which we put our attention on grows in life. Tender, delicate feelings move the environment. This video is about the harm violent movie directors do to their audience, especially the movies of David Lynch. Even the holier-than-thou have praised this person who pollutes the world with his derangement and evil, all in the name of what he calls creativity. There are those who have made David Lynch a cult, and those who are afraid to stand up and speak out against this mixed up person, and by doing so, help him to continue to spread his violence through the world. It's because they are all the same. Let's look at David Lynch's character he created in Blue Velvet, Frank Booth. Dennis Hopper's assault on Isabella Rossellini in that movie is so violent, it's not allowed on public YouTube. But to David Lynch, everything is creativity. And he's called a genius and has won innumerable awards for his films. But that's Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. And that's what we're in now. During an interview, while having a coffee and a smoke, he said, a rotting corpse of a dead dog with maggots all over it is beautiful. See, I even disturbed my cat. This is one statement that reveals the interior of his mind, the quality of his consciousness. The character he created in Wild at Heart, played by Willem Dafoe, assaults Laura Dern in an extremely disgusting way, and then he puts a stocking over his head and gets caught in a robbery. And when he knows he's going to be arrested, he blows off his own head with a shotgun. And we get to watch the head and the long stocking twirl through the air down the alley and bounce off a wall. David Lynch spent a month with Maharshi. Would Maharshi watch one of David Lynch's movies? Would Maharshi advise any of us to watch them? He told David Lynch to start making uplifting movies. But his next movie turned out to be Inland Empire, shot entirely at night and showing Laura Dern throwing up for 2 hours. Until we understand she was actually a rotting corpse in a bedroom the whole time, and the movie we just watched was her time in hell. Or something like that. He has inspired a generation of young people who want to make movies like this. He's doing this after these school shootings and supporting help for children in schools, while he is supporting trans. In a culture where children are already brainwashed by our present culture into confusion about what gender they want to be. They don't understand that they already made that decision before they found a womb. And David Lynch isn't helping. He supports it. Along with Ellen DeGeneres, along with a host of half-naked singer-dancers. But that's showbiz. There's nothing spiritual or evolutionary about it. In view of all the violence, gore, and twisted ugliness David Lynch radiates into our society and into our world, would anyone be so brain dead as to use this violent pornographer as a spokesperson for their corporation? But they did. And that corporation is David Lynch Coffee. He says he wants to get enlightened on his spiritual quest. Who's he going to represent next? The Pope. Oh, he's not a pornographer, you say? Watch Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive and get back to me. He talks about creativity, but actually look at what he thinks creativity is. Who exactly does David Lynch appeal to? At the last book signing in San Francisco, hundreds of people showed up with tattoos all over their arms, necks, faces, and shaved heads. These are his biggest fans. A friend of mine went there and he told me all about it. Their outer appearance is a reflection of the interior of their minds and the interior of the mind of the man they follow. This kind of art is especially dangerous for children. Forget the movie rating system. That was for the old days when you had to be 17 to see movies like this, to even enter the theater. That's all gone now. And anyone can watch anything at any time online. It disturbs the viewer. It disturbs the surroundings and even the whole universe. That's how far-reaching our thoughts are. Trump supporter Clint Eastwood has won 5 Academy Awards. He started a trend with his Dirty Harry movie, all of his Dirty Harry movies, using a big gun. Before pulling the trigger, he would say, "Seeing as how this is a .44 Magnum pistol and the biggest handgun ever made, and it could blow your head clean off," and so on. In Dirty Harry, he didn't show the head being blown clean off, but he made up for it later in his movie Unforgiven. He would do well to retire from making violent movies and devote his life to bringing peace to the hearts of everyone in the world. And if he must make movies at all, what's wrong with making a movie like The Black Stallion? Or Toy Story, or Groundhog Day? What about Martin Scorsese? Scorsese waxes poetic about how he has found inner peace. But his gun violence in Taxi Driver is mind-blowing. Or more precisely, brain-blowing. Our society idolizes these directors. Violence is now acceptable in our present age. There was a time when it wasn't allowed on the screen. In the 40s, that was the last we saw of that kind of film. You couldn't show the gun going off in the same frame with the person being shot. And if they got shot, they would simply hold their chest and fall to the ground. Well, that's bad enough. But things have changed. Our society accepts it now, in spite of the gun violence we see everywhere in real life. Spawned partly by these three directors. In time, a society soaked in violent movies inures you to the violence, and you accept it as normal. It's called the exquisite corpse. Beautiful photography, beautiful music, great acting, but the story is death. But this is the nature of the age we live in, the dark age of Kali Yuga, which lasts 432,000 years, and we're only 5,000 years into it. It's an age where purity and spirituality disappear, where what is right becomes wrong, and what is wrong becomes right. And for those who speak out against what is wrong, against violations of natural law, you are mocked as old-fashioned, bigoted. They'll say, "Who are you to condescend to me? I've been given power because I'm more highly evolved than you are." But a day of reckoning is coming, as in Matthew 20:16. And that verse goes, "The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many be called, but few chosen."